Hey, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
All right, we the brothers here from Great Millstone. I'm the brother Tazwan. I got the elder Ratazar with me here today through the spirit. Lord willing that this live stream is edifying, hopefully comforting and uplifting to the body of Yahweh Bashim Shai. But before we get started, of course, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakadash. Also, we want to say double honors to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, salutations, and much love to the elect of Israel scattered around the four corners of the earth, as given our diligence to make the calling of election sure. All right, shalom to you and your families. Okay, like we say, coming back at you with another live stream entitled "Let Patience Have Her Perfect Work." Okay, now through the spirit of patience, that's a very, very important characteristic that must be exercised within the body of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Okay. Each and every member is going to have to exercise the spirit of patience one way or another, all right? Because ultimately the goal that we seek for is going to take time to achieve, because Yahweh Bashim Shai has to take us through a process of purging. He has to take us through a process of long suffering and also just letting the prophecies develop, you know, and come to pass. And during that process, you know, it's very important that we exercise the spirit of patience, okay? You can't rush fine wine, like the saying goes, okay? The only way to get aged wine is to be patient and let it sit, okay? So that's the same thing in return that we have to do spiritually, okay? Now, the Lord's patience is going to try you in minuscule levels as well, whether it's trying to achieve a goal, do certain things in the faith, coming up on a level takes time. If you want to come up on a level and start to, you know, understand the mysteries of the Lord and the Lord to start revealing to you deeper things, it takes patience. It takes effort and time to get to that. Okay. So one thing about it, and two things for sure, you will never be able to surpass men that's been having that spirit of patience before you, because they've patiently waited and got to the level that they're at, and you have to do the same thing. So you have to let patience have her perfect work, okay?
That's right.
You can't rush the process, because when you rush the process, the fruit of it is not always as potent as it could be. All right? Mm-hmm. The fruit of whatever your work ethic is or whatever you're trying to accomplish, the fruit of it is not going to be savored as it would if you allowed that whole process to continue. Okay? So let patience have her perfect work. Just allow time to bring forth what you desire spiritually. Okay? Mm-hmm. You got something, bro?
Con. Let's go with what you were saying. I'm starting Psalms.
You can bring it down.
Okay, Con. Psalms 37. The point is in verse 7, but I'm going to start at verse 5 just to read into it. It says, "Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass." All right, which commit goes to basically when you dedicate yourself, all right, to the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, all right, in a particular prophecy that the word speaks about, he's gonna bring them to pass, man. You know, because the scriptures say the Lord is not a man that he should lie. Mm-hmm. All right, but it says to seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read, none of these things shall fail.
That's right.
All right. So it says, verse 6, it says, "And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgments as the noonday." All right. Now here's the point. Verse 7, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." Right, so we just gotta wait, man. Wait patiently upon Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Don't worry about, you know, the wicked of this world that prosper, mm-hmm. you know, that increase, you know, carnally, because at the end of the day, they're gonna receive their ultimate judgment, man.
That's right.
You know, because that's the will of the Lord. But we gotta just basically constantly wait, which that word patience, which we more like gonna get into.
Matter of fact, I'll pull it up.
You know, get into that word, the definition of patience. You know, because that's essential, man. It's truth. You know, hey, it's a hard pill to swallow, so to speak. You know, you see, you know, our enemies or our adversaries prospering, and I think these motherfuckers are so wicked, but they seem to get the goodies of this world, which, hey, at the same time, we understand that we don't desire the things of this world, man. Scripture say we seek a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not putting all our trust into this world and society, what society has to offer. We're putting that aside and waiting patiently, all right, for our just reward, man. So you can get that word patience.
I have the etymology of the word patience. Circa 1200, quality of being willing to bear adversities.
Woo! Quality to be willing to bear adversity, man. Hardships, man.
That's right.
It basically means to suffer. So you're gonna go through things, you're gonna lose things, you're gonna be tested, tried. You're gonna be hella uncomfortable. But that's necessary because what that's doing is purging and it's molding our spirits into what Yahweh Shema Shai wants us to be, man. Go ahead.
Calm endurance of misfortune.
Calm. That's why the scripture say, that's heavy. But as the videos on that, it's the scripture say to what? Rejoice always, man. So even through which is easier said than done.
Absolutely.
It's supposed to be going through some stuff, man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, hey, that's what makes your mind strong. Being able to find some type of joy in what you're going through, man.
You got to be focused on the mission.
That's right.
That's why it says calm endurance of misfortune. So when you in times where it's misfortunate, or unfortunate, you have a series of events that continue to pound upon you, the spirit of patience has to kick in and you have to remain calm. All right. Never panic. All right. Because what happens is whenever you're in a position of being uncomfortable, Jake looks for a quick an escape route. And then that escape route is the justification on why they didn't endure through it. All right. So when you're going through hell, you catching, certain problems, don't look for a quick escape route, man.
That's right.
Endure it patiently, like it tells you in Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can get that too.
You got to endure through it patiently, man. Be of good cheer, and let the spirit of patience, be provoked within you. Like the scriptures tell you when in Hebrews, the 10th chapter, the 24th verse, it say, let us therefore provoke each other unto good works. But what is another form of good works is patience. Having that spirit of patience. While when you down and out, you're going through hell and you catching all kind of trials and tribulations, you still enduring that misfortune with a spirit of calmness. You're not panicking. You're not looking for an escape route or instant gratification. You're just going through the process of growing. Now it's a such thing called growing pains, man.
Yeah.
When you get to a teenage level, usually it's 12 or 13 years old, you hit that it's called a growth spurt. Where it seemed like within a matter of 6 months, you grew like 5 inches. And then people like, God damn, you getting big, man. What the but then what happens is the vessel that's growing at that rate, that exponential rate, they start to feel pain in their knees.
That's right.
In their feet, in their back, pain in their joints, their elbows and shoulders. And why is that? Because they're growing. Their body is actually growing. And with growth, it comes pain.
That's right.
Okay? Now you look at a seed, you plant a seed. The seed has to what? It has to germinate. Then it has to take root. And as it takes roots, it begins to sprout. And once it sprouts, it comes forth. And when it comes forth from under the ground, what happens? All kind of obstacles come towards that seed to try to choke out the fruit. So that's the pain of growing.
That's right.
When these obstacles come, you got weeds, you got birds, you got the fowls of heaven, you got the rodents, you got different storms. All of these things are just different components that the seed has to endure to grow.
That's right.
So when you endure through all of the things that come your way, you grow, and it's not a process that's easily acceptable, so to speak.
Right.
Right. You want to say something?
Yeah. Just to add to that, like I was thinking about, I think I was watching like some bodybuilding workout videos. One particular guy, he's hella buff, muscles are, hella buff. And his trainer kept telling him to love the pain. Like, he kept like amping him up, like love the pain. Why was he telling him that? Because he understood that by going through that pain, if it's deadly, his muscles are going to grow. He's going to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? He's going to develop certain muscle groups, whatever he was exercising. So they said, back to what you were saying, Same thing in this walk, man. You know, you gotta know how to basically love the pain, man, or love the suffering, man. Find that level of joy in this truth, man. You know,
That's right.
But I had something for you too.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna get that James after you, bro.
Okay, this is Sirach 2, and I start off on 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." It says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure."
And what, brother?
And constantly
endure. Man. Okay. Endurance is really a thing of consistency. You know, like if you run in a marathon, now what separates you from the rest of the marathon runners is the level of consistency that you have in the race, the endurance, the pace that you run, and you consistently run that pace. Now you can start off as a speed demon, but then eventually, if you burn out, then what's one thing that people are going to say about you? You didn't have endurance.
That's right.
You didn't have a high tolerance of endurance. So that's why I say what? It says what?
It says and constantly endure.
Constantly, meaning being consistent. You know, a pattern, showing a consistent pattern throughout your works that you rocking and rolling with this thing.
That's right. You
got to be in good spirits. You got to continue to contribute to the body, doing your videos, coming up on a level. All right, not being shiftless. All right, or stuck. You know, because if you stuck, you got to make certain sacrifices, man.
That's right. That's right.
You got to make certain spiritual sacrifices to get the ball rolling, man. And Jake get into a point in this truth where they get stuck and they don't know how to go to the next level because they ain't sacrificing spiritually. They ain't willing to let certain things go. So you got to consistently endure.
That's right.
You got to have show up. The scriptures tell you in Titus, the 3rd chapter, it says, "Let us show forth a pattern of good works." So we have to create a pattern. The word pattern means a stamp or something that's etched into something. A pattern is something, is the pattern of your works is what you consistently do on a daily basis or on a weekly basis that separates you from everybody else. You know?
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
Yeah, it says, and make not haste in the time of trouble.
Yeah, make not haste. You know, meaning wait.
Yeah.
Don't try to just, do something, that's going to cost you in the long run, but it's going to benefit you at that moment.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And you might have a bad little chick, and she wants you to get her pregnant. Mm-hmm. Now, at that moment, it feels good, but in the long run, it's going to cost you. Yeah. Or you might have an opportunity to get a nice car. Now, you might have the money now to get the car, but in the long run, you're not going to have that money, and it's going to cost you in the long run. So that's why I say make not haste, because hasty decisions are going to equate unfortunate results. Mm-hmm. Hasty decisions equate unfortunate results. And, let that sink in.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Kind of this verse 3. I'm going to just read down to verse 4. Or the point is in verse 4. It says, verse 3, "Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end."
And that's what it's about. That's the fruit. That's the fruit of it. If you want to get in on the lesson too, Kamal, feel free, bro. Read that part again.
Yep. Verse 3, "Cleave unto him and depart not away."
Yeah, cleave unto him and depart not away. Go ahead.
"And that thou mayest be increased at thy last end."
That's the fruit of patience.
Yeah.
The increase.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing to grow from a seed is what?
That's right.
The fruit.
The fruit. Yep. That's right.
That's the last thing to grow. So if you want the fruit of patience, which is a delicate and precious fruit, you have to endure through it.
That's right.
And then once the process is fulfilled and you're able to reap the fruit of patience, you're going to see why Yahweh Bashim Shah took you through all those obstacles and hurdles, and so that you can come to the point to where you're at now and you can reap the benefits of your patience.
That's right.
All of these processes are difficult processes that we go through, but we must embrace it in order to reap the fruits of our patience, of our endurance.
That's right.
And it's going to show in the long run why the Lord took you through a 2-year period of being patient. And that's important for us to understand. You got to let patience have her perfect work. Do not intervene between the process of patience and you.
That's right.
Don't intervene.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yep. Verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Take cheerfully, embrace it. Like the elder said, you know, he's watching the video. He said, "Love the pain."
Yeah.
Embrace the pain, man. Embrace the obstacle, man. You know, look at this truth like kind of sort of like an adventure.
Yeah.
Even though the trial, hey, you know who kind of put me in that mind frame was the brother Gamal. You brothers can't see him, but he in the background, and he made a heavy point when we were speaking one night, and he said basically, you know, his trials and tribulations, how he look at it like a movie. He's just excited to see like what's going to be the next thing or the next situation or the next hurdle that he got to overcome. And I was like, damn, you know, that's a good way to look at it, because then you won't have emotions tied to it.
Right.
You're looking at it like an adventure. You're looking at it like a journey, a path, and you already expecting certain things to happen to you. So when they happen, you exercise the spirit of patience and faith to overcome the obstacle. Okay? You can't come into this in this truth with a fixated mind frame that you're not gonna go through nothing.
Right.
Because when you start to go through things and you didn't count the cost, it's gonna trip you up. Go ahead, bro.
Yep. This is verse 4 again. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Yeah, when thou art changed to a lower state. You know, now everybody is been in a position of lowliness, man, at one point or another. You know, but embrace your story, man. Because at the end of the day, that's your legacy being created through what you're going through. That's your journey. Now, we all on separate paths going in the same direction.
Right.
All right? We all on separate paths. Nobody is walking the same course together because we're not in the same vessel. We have different spirits. But the direction that we're walking is in a forward progression. So everybody that's enduring or going through certain things on their path, they got to be considerate of what's taking place in them, man.
That's right.
And move in conjunction. All right? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'll keep going. Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Yeah, so when you're going through the fire and the adversity, you got to look at yourself as a potential member of the Lord. Be all, you know, you in the barber chair, you just jumping, you know, moving, squirming. You know, spray the alcohol on you, crying. Yeah. Even though it's off to get lineups, don't think I'm trying to condone lineups. I'm just talking about in the aspect of just the process of it.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta sit still, bro. Gold is tried in the fire. So you gotta be thinking like, man, when I get up out of this chair, I'm gonna be straight.
That's right.
According to a worldly perspective.
Yeah.
You know, get it twisted. That's off. You know? That's right. But the process of it is the hardest part. You know, but when it's finished, you like, oh shit, man, you know? Go ahead, bro.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna jump down. Into another point, verse 14. Woe unto them that have lost patience.
Yeah, woe unto them that have lost patience. The individuals that left the faith. Go ahead.
And what will you do when the Lord shall visit you?
What will you do? What are you going to say? What's going to be your excuse? It was the brothers. It was GMS. It was Apostle Tahar. No, it was you. Because you didn't count the cost.
That's right.
You didn't consider the things that you had to hold yourself accountable for. And you rushed the process. All right?
That's right.
You jumped out the pot when it was hot. You know?
That's right.
You didn't sit still. You didn't let the Lord scrub you clean. You moved. You ran. You looked for a window of opportunity to escape the fire. And you dipped.
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
This is verse 15. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways.
That's right. And keeping the ways of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is a process, man. You can't just say that you believe in this truth. No, the Lord got to take you through a process of belief. He has to prove your belief. He has to take you through hurdles, trials and tribulations, ups and downs, inconveniences, losses, gains. He has to take you through this process in order to prove your belief
And that's what's that? That's Sirach, the 4th chapter. It speaks about wisdom. It says it will try by crooked ways.
That's Sirach 6. Yeah.
Sirach 6.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yeah, so that's what this truth is about, man. You know, truth. Basically, the Most High has to prove you. He has to try you, man. You know, just the proving grounds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for brothers, that watch battle rap, you know, they got the proving grounds. You got to basically prove yourself for you to be considered the top tier rapper, man. You know, hey, the Most High got to put us through that trial, man. That's right. All right. First and foremost, before he basically, you know, brings you in, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through that trial period, man.
That's right. This is James chapter 1, verse 3.
Yep.
Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience,
mm-hmm.
but let patience have her perfect work.
That's right. Yeah, it says the trying. What does it say? The trying of our faith worketh patience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So your faith gonna be put on the line, man. You know, when you go through these different sufferings, is really your faith has to kick in. You know, to a point where you know the Lord's gonna be with you, man. He's not gonna forsake you. All right, and through that's how your faith is being built, is being stirred up, it's increasing, you know, because you're seeing how the Lord is getting you through these certain situations. And hey, even though we skipped over it, but in Sirach, the 2nd chapter said, "Have any trust in the Lord has been confounded?" You know, it said no. All right, anybody who put their trust and faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, all right, made it through, man. He never forsook nobody, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so go ahead.
Yep, it says, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing.
Right, that's right. So basically, patience or the sufferings is what's perfecting our spirit, not our flesh. You know, because these bodies are, you know, these bodies are through, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to take these bodies on a chariot if we part of the elect, but it's our spirit and our soul that's being perfected through the sufferings, man. You know, through the hardships, through the adversity, you know, through the chastening of the Lord, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, which is really a sign of love, pursuing the Hebrews 12. All right, the Lord chastening of who we love, man, his sons. And that's how the Lord is perfecting us, man. It's a perfect work. If you want to be a work of perfection, you know, that's just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta, hey man, you know, it's no way you can do that without going through that fire, man.
Yeah,
you know
that's it says a perfect work.
Perfect work, that's right.
You know, that's heavy.
Heavy,
yeah. You think about it. That's how we're going to be made perfect. It's through the patience.
Mm-hmm.
When you look up the word patience, it means to suffer.
That's right.
You know, to calmly endure through a time of misfortune, man. You know, and if you like to hit the panic button, man, you through, man.
Yeah.
You know, stay away from that red panic button.
Right.
Abort. You know, abort mission.
Yeah.
No, man, you gotta stay away from that, man. That's not the spirit of the Lord.
That's right.
You gotta remember, man, Daniel was cast into a lion's den. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego was cast into a fiery furnace. Yahushua was crucified. Daniel was thrown in the dungeon. You know, all the different obstacles Paul was beaten. All the different obstacles that befell our forefathers, and they still kept that spirit of patience throughout the process, so that their works could be made perfect and they can enjoy the fruits of their patience. You just gotta wait sometimes, man.
Yeah.
You can't pull a pizza out the oven too fast, man.
That's right.
You can't pull the pizza out the oven too fast. Let it cook, man.
That's right.
This Psalms 37:7. It says, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him."
Oh, I read it earlier too.
Oh, Psalms 37?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll read it again.
Read it again.
It says, "Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass."
Yep.
You know? So yeah, the elder read it earlier, but hey, the spirit jumped on me to get it again. But hey,
if you want, you jump down to 34 too.
Verse 34?
Yep.
All right, Con, this is 1 second. Psalms 37 and 34. I read, "Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land." That's
right. Hey, that's the which really the inspiration for the lesson came from a quote. Mm-hmm. All right, it said patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. So like it said, wait upon the Lord and keep his way, that ye may inherit the land. All right, that's basically the fruits of our labor, man. You know, by us, you know, being of the hopeful elect, laboring and enduring these sufferings. All right, we're gonna reap what we put into this thing. That's why the Spirit's on brothers heavily to exhort on, man. Just make it sacrifices, man. Go hard. You know, the hell with burning out, man. Just go hard, man. Be at the finish line. All right, because all our works is gonna basically amount to us receiving or inheriting the land, which is ultimately the kingdom of heaven, man.
That's right.
You know, it's bitter. It's bitter now. Like, man, damn, fuck, man, going through this stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but eventually that bitterness is going to be sweet, man.
Yes.
You know, rulership of the earth, slaves,
Delicate.
women, sweet. You know what I'm saying? Children by the millions, land, rulership, spiritual power. You know, go ahead.
It says, when the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it.
Hey, that's a part of that. That's a part of that sweetness too, man. Seeing Esau being brought down to a damn mere morsel.
But you gotta wait.
You gotta wait for that, man.
You gotta remain.
You know?
If you want, hey, Jake be saying how much they hate Esau, bro. Well, that's more fuel to stay in the truth.
That's right.
If you really want to get these devils, if you really want to see America fall, if you really want to put them in chains and shackles, wait.
That's right.
Cause Jake be having that macho man appearance. You know, man, fuck these devils, man. Going all in. But then they don't want to do go through the necessary stages that it takes to get this goddamn devil, man.
That's right.
You know, you think the sincere brothers out here can't stand this fucking devil?
Right.
But what you see them doing, you see them remaining faithful to Yahweh Bashim Hawashai because they understand that that's one of the benefits of being patient. That's why I say this is the patience and the faith of the saints.
That's right.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Ooh. So one of the things that should be a driving motivation is you being able to put your enemy into captivity. But Jake be so soon to throw in the towel and throw in the ball, they're not considering that everything that you was fighting for is null and void. Because you're not going to be able to attain that because this is the only way to get it.
That's right. And
you didn't go through the process of getting it. So patience has to have a perfect work, man. That's right. When we're able to reap the benefits of our sufferings, then we'll understand, you know, how great and how gracious and merciful Yahweh Bashim Hawashai is. You know?
That's right.
That was it on that the Psalms 37.
37, okay.
You know, you had something, bro?
Yeah, I had something for you.
Go ahead.
This is James 5 and beginning at verse 7. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth.
Woo!
And have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain.
That's right. You know, that's a spirit, because I had that too.
Yeah, I already knew we had the same precept as spirit.
You know, but we have to wait for the precious fruit of faith, man. All right? The precious fruit of patience. All right? And you brothers better believe, man, the Lord is not slack concerning his promises, man. He's not a power that should lie. If he say we're going to reap the benefits of being patient and enduring, then that's what he means. He means that. Right. But we don't know how that fruit tastes. We don't know how it feels to have the world in complete subjection. We don't know how it feels to be in a new body, indestructible, everlasting life. We don't know the visage and the countenance of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai. We haven't received that crown yet. Right. But it sounds good. And we want to receive that. So we have to go through the process of patience and faith in order to reap those benefits. And sometimes you got to suffer through the exhortation. Like the Elder Rochas, I did a video on a couple of months ago, learn to suffer exhortation. Yeah. Well, brother always encouraging you, uplifting you, admonishing you, correcting you, reproving you. You know, don't get tired of getting corrected, man. Right. You got some Jakes, man, they get corrected and they be like, oh man, damn, yeah. Oh man, you know. What are you talking about, man? You're supposed to love correction, man. That's right. Yep. I don't like that, man. You know, damn. Bro, you're supposed to love it, man. When you got on, man. They pride be thinking that they oh damn, I fucked up, man. Right. Bro, you're gonna fuck up. That's right. You know, you're gonna fuck up, man. You're gonna mess up. Somebody's gonna get on you in the truth. Yeah. Somebody's gonna get on you, man. You're gonna be reprimanded for certain things.
Yeah.
But you just ate the water. Ate the water, man. You know, that was needed. I appreciate it. You know, they gave me something to analyze. I could repent for, pray, and I'm gonna just work at it, bro. With the water, I wouldn't say the water for, you know, putting that out there, bro. And you go forward through the process, man. You know, you know, we being made perfect. We're not perfect yet.
That's right.
We're being made perfect, and a part of the process of being made perfect is you're gonna get God on.
Yep.
So you gotta suffer correction and reproof. Now, the Spirit of the Lord, you might be one of them brothers that's sincere, but be slipping up more than others, and you get God on more than others. Well, that's just something you gotta endure.
Yep.
You know, it don't mean that the Lord don't love you. When the Lord stop getting on you, then the Lord don't love you, man.
Yeah, that's right.
When you stop getting corrected, when you stop getting cursed out or reprimanded, that means the Lord don't love your ass no more, man. Not if the Lord, you know, jacking you up because of what you're doing. You got to understand the love of Mashiach. You know, you have more.
Yeah, it's verse 8. It says, "Be also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh."
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah. So be also patient, establish your hearts, meaning establish your mind, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your mind has to be rooted in the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, in the faith, man. You know, not easily swaying to the right or left, but you basically stubborn in righteousness, man. You know, it says, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. You know, yeah. So the time is at hand, man. We don't have a lot more time left. You know, so we gotta be gridlocking this thing, man.
That's right.
You know, not easily shaken, right? It says, matter of fact, I'm gonna jump down to verse 10. It says, "Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience." All right, yeah. So we read the accounts of the different prophets. You know, you read their you also say their memoirs.
Yeah.
You know, their life story, so to speak. Man, the prophets had a hard life, man.
Yeah.
All right, and we gotta be the prophets coming back, because brothers, like I said earlier, brothers be going through some hellified situations in different scenarios. All right, but we got the chronicles, so to speak. All right, and read upon them as an example, man. What's that? Romans 15:4. The things written aforetime were written for our learning. All right. It says, verse 11. It says, "Behold, we count them happy which endure." All right. Yeah, going to we brought out, what's that? Sirach 2. All right, whatever's brought upon you, take cheerfully.
Yep.
Because we know that the things that we endure is going to lead ultimately to a reward, man. We ain't just doing this just because we're bored. We ain't got nothing to do. We're just going to do this for nothing. Nah, man. It's you know, the grass is greener on the other side, so to speak.
That's right.
It says, "Behold, we count them happy which endure." It says, "Ye have heard the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and tender of mercy." You know, yeah. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua is very merciful, man. You know, yeah. We, like, you know, Bishop was going into, we slip up, we make certain mistakes. You know, righteous man falls 7 times. You know, we get up again. The Lord is merciful, man. He's pitiful. You know, so we gotta don't forget that and to continue to move forward, man.
That's right.
And Job is the ultimate example. He was totally righteous. All right, and Most High brought him down to you know, to the first level, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, but he said, "Well, I would," you know, Job said, "Though he slay me, yet will I put my trust in him."
That's right.
And I'll maintain my ways, man. So Job was righteous to the end.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the ultimate example that we have, man. You know what I'm saying? But yep, that was the point on that.
Yeah, I got something for you, bro. This is Luke 8:15. It says, "But that on the good ground are they, which is an honest and good heart, having heard the word and keep it and bring forth fruit with patience."
Ooh, yeah, you got it.
You know, so the good, this is going into the parable of the sower. And the Lord spoke about those that fell on the good ground that had a pure conscience, a pure mind, and they brought forth fruit with patience, man. Okay? That's the only way that fruit can come forward. You can't rush a fruit.
Right.
Show me a cheat code where you could rush fruit. Genetically modified?
Yeah.
That ain't fruit. It ain't real fruit. It's fake fruit. We talking about real fruit that's grown through the process that the Lord created for the earth. There is no way to rush it. You could put 1,001 tons of water on it.
Right.
That fruit is still gonna grow according to the Spirit of the Lord. So that's how the good seed is gonna bring forth that fruit. It's through patience, man. You know, enduring your trials and tribulations. You know, another thing that you gotta endure through, through the fellowship, man. Jake will link up when they first get into camp. They come around, they'll drive 2-3 hours to get around, but then after a while, they're like, man, fuck that, man. I ain't getting nothing out of it. No, fuck that. I'm staying away. I'm not going 45 minutes over there tonight, an hour. Right. See, I'm sleepy. But then when they first came into the camp, they was there every weekend. But because they don't see the fruit of it, they don't see the spirit of it, because their heart not pure and sincere, they slowly began to separate themselves from the body.
That's right.
As if Yahweh Bashim Shai don't see it. The Most High got all our tabs, man. And it's all kind of scenarios that he can use to bring forth your tab. If he's displeased in your way. So at the end of the day, you got to check yourself, man. You know, you got to see if you've been moving in that spirit of patience, or if you've been hastily trying to avoid your process.
Right.
Put in spiritual cheat codes, man, trying to get around what you got to deal with, man. You know,
that's right.
Doing things that's unseemly, you know, instead of just sitting there and enduring and going through the process and sending up prayers for the Lord to give you the spirit of patience to endure through what you got going on. Jake try to cut corners and go around. You can't go around what the Lord got set up for you, man. You got to go through it. Yeah. It's tailor-made. And that's how the seed that's set on that good ground is going to bring forth good fruit. It's through the spirit of patience, man. You know? So this is a very reflective and exhorting lesson for all of us to take heed, man, as we see the spirit is crunching down, it's tightening up on brothers. Brothers been getting reprimanded and things of that nature. So what does that mean for you as an individual? What does that mean for me as an individual? Yeah. I have to sit back and reflect, man, could I get caught in this thing, man? You know, could I get caught up lacking? Where am I lacking at? Where am I going off? What can I step up at? And you got to be proactive, and you got to step up on that for your own, man. You can't wait for the next brother to always try to get your gears rolling, man. Right. He got to get his own gears rolling at the same time. So you got to step up and you got to do what you got to do in order to persevere, man.
That's right.
You know, if you want to sit in your little rabbit hole and soak in your sorrow and marinate in your misery, you know, then what's going to happen to you is you're going to end up losing the spirit. This thing is about being work-based, proactive.
That's right.
You know, finding fault within yourself and correcting that fault so you can become more perfect to Yahweh Bashim Shai through the spirit of patience. Okay?
That's right.
Don't take the easy way out.
That's right. If I can add too, that's when the that's when the fear of Yahweh Bashim Shai kicks in, man. You know, when certain certain things get put out in the spirit, you know, like the Bishop of Tazwan is going into, you know, spirit is cracking down, toning down on certain things, you know, brothers getting the scope put on them. All right, when you see that type of spirit being pushed out, it's supposed to invoke a level of fear in you that'll make you want to kind of shapen up, man. Because I was talking prior to the filming, you need that sometime, man. You know, it'd be a period of time when things be kind of cool, you know, and Jay can kind of get laid back and too lax. You know, the spirit every so often got to kind of, hey man, all right, y'all pay attention, man. You know, don't get too relaxed, don't get too comfortable, because because everybody's car can get pulled, man. Me, this brother, that brother, you know what I'm saying? Nobody is safe, man. You know, if we were safe, then we all be on a chariot already. You know, we wouldn't be down here, you know, fighting this battle. We already be translated, man. You know, so everybody's car can get pulled, man. So when these particular things get put out, as I mentioned, it should invoke a level of fear for you to just snap right into it, man. Fear is what brings about righteousness, man. You fear the Lord so much that make sure I do my videos, make sure I get this on point, make sure I sit up straight. You know what I'm saying? Clean up. Like you going, hey, like a father.
Yep.
Father tell you, hey, look, boy. If I get home, then make sure this is done. This, you know, now if you got a strict father, you're gonna be try your damnedest, all right, to get everything on point, man, before you get back home. That's like you gotta look at the Most High, man.
Yep.
When that spirit cracked down, straighten up, sit up straight until my bed is made.
Yep.
You know, my laptop. You know what I'm saying?
Straighten up, man.
You gotta straighten up, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's right.
You had more than what you was reading?
Well, I had something else. That was James.
Okay, kind.
This is Galatians 6 and 9, just hitting on that point of you know, us keep doing the works of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and basically waiting, being patient, and eventually then we're gonna reap the benefits, man. This is Galatians 6 and 9. Oh, matter of fact, I started at 8. Yeah, I started at 8. It says, for he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
That's right. You know, that's what people like to speak about, the laws of what? Karma.
Yep.
Well, you have that in the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Where you reap what you sow. So if you sow to the flesh, if all you do is you take this truth and you focus on being able to have more than one woman,
Mm-hmm.
being able to cuss Edomites out, being able to cuss black women out, excessively drinking, you know, being a nigga, being bitter, being angry. You know, if you take that out of the scriptures and you just extrapolate all of that out of the scriptures and you fit that into your life, then you're going to reap what you're sowing. Because all you're going to do is chase women. All you're going to do is drink. All you're going to do is be angry and bitter. All you're going to do is just try to find a reason why you can have 2-3 women. But when it comes down to the spiritual things of fellowship, building, sacrificing, you're going to always have a problem with doing it because you don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You only want to do the things that feel good to your flesh. You don't want to do the things that's good for your spirit. So if you reap sparingly, or if you sow sparingly, you reap sparingly. If you sow to the flesh, you reap to the flesh.
That's right.
So your trials and your tribulations is a reflection of what you've sown. Mm-hmm. What you go through is a reflection of what you've sown during your path.
That's right.
Okay? Go ahead, bro.
Right. It says, I'll read you back on the side. It says, for he that soweth to the flesh shall reap of the flesh corruption.
Right. So if you more so worried about cussing out Edomites, but you don't worry too much about uplifting Jake or exercising the spirit of brotherly love, then you reap what you sow.
That's right.
You know? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, bro.
It says, but he that soweth to the spirit shall reap, or shall of the spirit reap life everlasting.
And that's ultimately the goal that we're trying to attain. Spiritual life everlasting. So we must sow to the spirit. Now, what are the things that we must sow in the spirit? That's why we have the fruits of it. Mm-hmm. It tells you what to sow. Long suffering, patience, joy, faith. These are the fruits of the spirit that we must sow in order to reap everlasting life. But if you've been sowing things according to the flesh, you're going to reap things of corruption. Okay?
That's right.
You're going to reap the things of the flesh.
Yep.
And then when it comes back to you know, when you have to eat of that fruit that you've sown, Jake is bitter because they've sown bitter fruit. They've sown bitter seed. They haven't sown sweet, precious seed of faith, of suffering, of you know, all the things that the scriptures tell us to sow spiritually. You neglect those things and you sow the bitterness of the ministry. And then when you have to eat of that fruit, you're mad. You're bitter.
That's right.
But you sowed it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You sowed the seed. Didn't nobody else come and sow the seed? You decided to extrapolate out the scriptures what felt good to you and not what you needed to sow. And then you have to eat of what you've sown because of your lack of dedication. You didn't want to go through the process of sacrificing spiritually. You wanted to take the easy route on sacrificing the carnal things. And now when you reap that sacrifice, you displeased behind it. You see what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, bro.
Go ahead, Al.
Yep. Verse 9 is the point. It says, and let us not be weary in well-doing,
Yeah, let us not be weary in well-doing, Aki. Okay?
Mm.
We can't be weary in well-doing, man. We have to be consistent. We have to show a consistent pattern. Go ahead.
That's right. For in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
That's right. In due season we shall reap if we faint not. So we have to remain upright, because when you faint, that means you've gotten weak.
Yeah.
That means you lost hope. You've given up. Okay? But if you remain upright through the times when it feel like you're going to faint, then what you're going to do, you're going to reap the benefits of what you've sown.
That's right.
Okay? So it's symbolic. You know, hey, it's going to be times where you're going to feel like hey, I was going through a situation a couple of weeks ago where it just felt like every day I was about to faint for about 7 to 8 days straight. You know, the brother, remember, I was through, man. You know, I was just, my hands sweating. I'm feeling lightheaded, and I'm feeling like I'm really about to give up the spirit. Hey, but the Lord, through the grace of Yahweh Bashim Shai, the Lord had me to endure and go out the camp and fellowship with the brothers and be able to speak, you know. So when you in these trying times where it feels like you're about to give up, don't give up, man.
Right.
Don't give in to the flesh, man. Don't let the flesh tell you what you can and can't do. Let the spirit tell you, man. Because your flesh gonna tell you 1,000,001 reasons why you can't do certain things.
That's right.
But your spirit is gonna give you 1,000,002 reasons why you can do it.
That's right. Hey, just like using the analogy with the bodybuilder, like you working out, you see, these personal trainers, they always yell like one more, but you brothers that train or whatever, you might have got to that point, like your flesh telling you can't do that last rep. Yeah, but somehow, some way, you just find a way to just get it up, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta apply that mind frame to the truth.
That's
man.
right.
You feel yourself at that low level. In that low dungeon space.
That low dungeon. Yep.
Hey man, you got this. Hey man, just dig in the core, man. And pray. Pray for your house by Shimon Shah to give you the strength to bust through that thing, man.
That's your strength.
That's
Psalms 124.
That's right.
You have more on that.
I think that was it on Galatians.
I got something real quick.
Okay,
this is Luke, quick to the point. Luke 21:19. It says, "In your patience possess ye your souls."
That's right. Hey, yeah, in your patience, meaning within your sufferings, possess ye your souls, man. All right. So, hey, our souls really, hey, in this world, man, scriptures say, he that loveth his life shall lose it.
Mm-hmm.
But he that hateth his life shall gain it in life eternal, roughly paraphrasing. All right. So through our sufferings, man, and we're gonna possess our lives, our souls, man, in this world to come. All right. But it comes through what? Through the sufferings, man. All right, through the adversity, through the hardships, through the enduring, which the word endure means to be made hard, man. All right, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai he's hardening us, man.
That's right.
He's basically making us numb, so to speak, to the spirit of this world. So when all hell break loose, all right, when shit hits the fan, so to speak, it ain't gonna rattle the elect, man.
That's right.
They're gonna be unmovable, they're gonna be stable, and they're gonna be the spirit of mirth. Scripture say they're gonna laugh at destruction.
Yep.
So hey, our soul is gonna be possessed. These people in this world, they're gonna lose their soul, man.
Yeah.
All right. It's coming perils, man.
Yeah, they're not gonna have any power over.
That's right.
You're gonna have some people out here that know about the chip and don't want to take the chip, but because they don't have patience, they're gonna take the chip.
That's right.
They know that the chip is the mark of the beast, and they know that they shouldn't take it, but because they're not patient and they're not rooted and built up in the Lord, they're gonna take that chip. So that's why it says, in your patience possess your souls, because these people that's going to take that chip, they don't have any power over their spirit or their soul, but the elect is going to have that power to say, I'm not going to take it. That means they possessing their soul.
That's right.
It's my spirit. I'm not letting no fucking devil put no fucking chip in me, man. It's my spirit that the Lord gave me. I'm going to possess my own soul. I'm going to withstand that shit, man, because I know it's wrong. And so that's through your patience possess your soul, man.
That's right.
There's all kind of scenarios, man.
Yeah.
You can have a motherfucker that'll come in and try to get you to sell brothers out. I give you $2 million, man. If you just give me name and information, and you just put this tracking device on this other car. Yeah. Or testify against them. And because of your lack of patience, you'll do it, knowing that it's wrong. But if you have patience, then guess what's going to happen? When that opportunity of Satan, when that Satan present that opportunity, you're going to turn it down because you know in your spirit that it ain't right. You don't have no power over my spirit to bribe me, nigga.
That's right.
So in your patience, you possess your soul, man. A lot of we're going to be tried when this thing really kick off, man.
That's right.
You know, this is the time now to build up. But when this thing kick off, the sheep is going to be divided from the goats, man.
Yeah.
And we got to pray and ask Yahweh Shema Shai that if it be according to his will, that we be a part of the righteous side, man. Okay?
That's right.
Because when Satan has control over your soul and spirit, when you give your soul over to Satan, that's a wrap. It's over for you, man.
That's right.
So through patience, you build up a level of resistance, man. You know?
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
And this is all like he's going into. This is all a trial period. You know what I'm saying? And in that time, if you've been, enduring your sufferings, you haven't given up, you haven't tapped out or fainted, like you read in Galatians, and your patience or your patience meter gonna be on 1,000 in that day, man. So with what you'll be able to withstand that, like you said, you'll be able to possess your soul and not give it over to Satan, man. Yep. But if you given up, like guys that we know or people in this world, you ain't gonna have enough patience to be able to basically say no, man. He's going to forward and bow down to Satan. That's right, bro. I had another one.
Come on, go ahead.
This is matter of fact, I'll get this one. This is First Corinthians 15 and 58. It says, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord."
Unmovable, steadfast, always abounding, meaning you're always growing. And it could be a storm out. It could be a storm outside, and you just a regular plant. It's a storm outside. But you're still unmovable.
That's right.
And then you're gonna take that rain, and you're gonna take that water, and you're gonna grow from that water instead of letting that water drown you. You're gonna grow from that. That's what it means by being steadfast and unmovable. Nothing is able to knock you off your pivot. Nothing is able to convince you that what you're doing is wrong, or that the brothers around you are wrong, or that there's another way. It goes deeper than the Bible.
That's right.
You got to be steadfast, man. You got to be rooted, unmovable. Go ahead, bro.
That's right. It says, "For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain."
It's not in what?
It's not in vain.
Woo!
In the Lord.
And why is our labor not in vain? Because there will be fruit that comes behind.
That's right.
That's what makes these situations not vain. Because the fruit comes. The fruit is always the "I told you so." The fruit of it is always the "I told you so."
That's right. Yeah.
That's the fruit of every situation. When you can say "I told you," that's the fruit of it. That's why the labor is not in vain, because there is an actual increase of fruit that we'll be able to reap at the end of it. That's why the work of the Lord is not in vain. The hope of the Lord is not vain. The faith in Yahweh Shema Shai is not vain. The patience in the Lord is not vain. Because at the end all be all, there's fruit that has to be reaped.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And you're not going to plant all of these good seeds, and then at the end the Lord is going to just take you out and not let you. No, you're going to reap it. You're going to reap exactly what you've sown. That's spirit. That's what it is. What goes around comes around, man.
That's right. That's right.
You're going to reap it, man.
Yep. Okay.
Now let's say you've sown according to the flesh before Yahweh Shai. Well, those things that you've sown according to the flesh, you're made a new creature when you come into Yahweh Shai. So you don't have to reap that. All right? Because you unknowingly sowed according to corruption. But when you come into Yahweh Shai, you become a new creature. So then you begin to sow good seeds within people, within the ministry, within yourself. So therefore, in the latter end, you'll be able to reap the good seeds that you've sown. And the Lord won't look at the old seeds of corruption that you've planted. They will have died out by then.
That's right.
Okay? Go ahead, bro.
I think that was it on it.
Come on. You had any more precepts, or that was pretty much it?
Yeah, I'll get this last one.
I can't. Yeah, we'll wrap up on this.
Okay,
one.
this is Revelation 22:12. It says, "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me."
Yeah, the Lord said He come quickly, and His reward is with Him. Go ahead.
To give every man according as his work shall be.
To give every man according to his work shall be. So we have to remember that this is an individual effort, man.
That's right.
All right. And the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is requiring each and every last one of us as servants to hold ourselves to a particular standard. So if you cutting corners with the Lord, if you giving a piss poor effort, you know, if you coming up short in the daily ministration, then Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is watching you, man. And He's going to give you according to what you do. You know, Jake wonder why, you know, men get cast out the body was because you're sowing sparingly, man.
Right.
You partially doing this thing. You got to go through the spirit of patience. You got to endure so that you can bring forth fruit for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Whether it's on your videos at camp, or whether you edify a brother and through the edification, you're able to convince him who the Lord and Savior is and bring him into the body, bring him into the faith. Because you got brothers out here that's responsible for bringing in brothers into the camps through their just personal sowing of the Spirit. You know, so you got to consider your way. You got to consider your path and what you've been doing along your path. And if it haven't been right, you got to correct it, man.
That's right.
And endure through the spirit of patience. Let patience have her perfect work. Okay? So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Lord willing, it was edifying. We're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakodash. Double honors once again to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.